is up, party people? This is Max with the RHMax channel. Trying a little bit of new intro here. Today is a very special day. We have Mr. Feeder in the house. He's going to correct me too. I've heard people say his name David Fetter and David Feeder, and he's going to correct me as soon as he comes on the stage because I need to know, because for some reason that's important. I'm pretty sure he doesn't think it's important. Otherwise, he'd already corrected 500 people by now. I'm sure he's going to be like, oh, it doesn't really matter. But we will get to the bottom of this very, very quickly. This should be a good episode. Yeah, I think, of course, we're going to cover all the fun stuff and all the Richard Hart products. It's going to be a good one. I think every time we have him on the show, it's been a banger. So why wouldn't it be a banger this time? It may be a double banger. We don't know. We're going to get into it. Without further ado, David, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
So the most important question before we get into anything else, how do you pronounce your last name?
Technically, it's Feeder, but the way it's spelled, it says Fetter.
Fetter. It's like Fetter.
Yeah.
Federation. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you ask Hexologist, he's been saying it Federici for the past 2 years on his stream. So, it's all good.
Federici. Is that Maribachi reference?
Because he didn't know how to pronounce it at all. He's like, Federici, David Federici. Yeah.
It sounds like a name. Sounds like a very Italian person.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I've been saying it right the whole time. I've been saying David Feeder.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, this whole time. Yeah, this whole time. It almost had me mixed up. I was like, shit, how was I saying it actually? Well, cool. Well, and now we can end the stream. That's all I want to know, really. So, all right, everyone, thanks for joining. No.
That was easy.
Easy. You got the rest of the evening to yourself. No, let's not do that. The people would be very upset about that. We don't want to make. We don't Federici.
Yeah.
Does that not stream? It does. It's true.
And we got to talk tech. That's why we're here. We want those.
The
good stuff.
Me and you have been known. Mostly you have been known to talk some tech before. So, I stand on the shoulders of giants and on the back of #1 testnet validators. Pow! Get that one in. There'll be a couple more jokes along the way too. Somebody's here for the beard. Welcome, Mad Hex Room. Welcome to the show.
Mad Hex Room, good name.
Yeah, I know, I like that.
Yeah,
followed Peter over happy hour. Yeah, cool. I don't know if you told people to do that or not, but welcome to Peter from happy hour. Yeah, I'll have to talk to Cabanas sometime. I assume it's that happy hour, Cabanas happy hour.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That's the only one I can think of too. But I have to get to talk to him more often. I've had the pleasure very, very often. Finn Bear's in the house. Hello, Finn Bear. Hello, boys. I just did, and I don't know that you really speak that way, but it seemed appropriate. But you spelled it. You made me do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Call him David. You can call him anytime. Anytime you have a problem, call. No, we're not going there. Not yet. So, man, how are you doing? It's been maybe a couple months since you're on the show, and how you been doing?
I'm good. Just surviving the bear market like everybody else, one day at a time. Watching my T-shares print more hex every day. That's all we got at this point.
That is lovely thought. Actually, many people are considering if crypto is their industry or not, and you're just like, I'm just staked, so it's cool. Just wait around a bit. Yeah.
Every T-share is 25 cents a day right now. So I'll take it, man.
That's always struggle with this I guess just people got a lot of things going on in their life. There's a lot of complexity. I don't know people's situation. I try to look at it optimistically, but also I'm fortunate enough to not be over leveraged and to, be in a good state in my life and things. So the negativity, I see it, but I can't quite grasp it, and I'm not sure I want to in a lot of ways either, because it might interrupt my flow as well. But I'm having a fine time. I'm looking. I think if you always have something good to look forward to in the future, and you're doing stuff you like to do today, that makes every day pretty good. I mean, as long as you got all your ducks in a row. Otherwise, so I'm very happy to not be sad about this bear market as much as I've seen other people struggle with.
Yes, I think a lot of the Hexicans we're privileged with this now, that our bags are strong and growing every day, and we really don't have a lot of problems. Yeah, we picked the right horse in the race, so it really shows now.
Yes. Well, I always forget too. I always think, oh, hex up and down, bear market, all this stuff. I kind of forget about Pulse sometimes. I kind of forget about, if you sack for Pulse or PulseX, you have this like whole money bag, it's there. But I don't even, because it's not here yet. So you don't really think about it that much. It's like, I think about Hex and I think about, oh, this is great. Ups and downs, fine, whatever. I know it's going to go up in the future, I suspect. And then it kind of makes me, I don't even think about the other good stuff. So it's so many good things going on. So many, like, I don't know. It's just so easy for me to be optimistic in this community. It's easy. It's easy for me.
Yep.
So good. PulseX. Buy and burn. How many times on a scale of 1 to 10 have you talked about this 500 times yet?
No. This is not too much, actually. Not too much.
New information.
I've probably ran the function more than I've talked about it, to be honest with you.
It's always good when you don't have to speak and things just work. Okay.
Yep.
I want to know though, like why is it buy and burn? Why is it important? How does it work, first of all, for people listening, and why is it so important to the system, to the platform?
Yeah. So on PulseX, the exchange, basically every time there's a trade, a little piece of the fee for that trade is used to buy PulseX and then burn it, and it's gone. So as people trade on PulseX, you swap your USDC for HEX. Well, that takes a little, maybe it's just a fraction of a cent, and it buys some PulseX and it burns it. And it does that over and over and over. And then it adds up. It over time, it burns a lot of PulseX coins, and they're gone forever. That's how PulseX coin is deflationary, is because everybody who's sacked, that's the only way to get the PulseX coins up front, and then forever after they just get burned. So you're going to have to buy some from somebody if you want some, and they just get more rare with time. So it should, in theory, help the price go up over time.
Are there other examples of platforms that are doing this too, that we can kind of say, oh, that has worked before, or is this just kind of new territory with PulseX?
Don't quote me on this. Well, I can speculate, but I've never used it and I've never been there. But I think the Cake coin from Binance might do something similar, or have like some kind of buy and burn or something.
The pancake swap coin?
Or maybe it's Syrup. I thought there was something over there, but I've never been over there, so I'm not positive. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. But I thought the idea was taken from the pancake swap. I thought that's where Richard got inspired for all this.
Well, I know the third party doesn't. The third party tokens I think are pretty popular on Pancake Swap, or one of the dexes like that. Right. So I knew that came from there, but the whole fee burning deal. I wonder, chat. Let us know too if you know some. Different platforms that do stuff like that. Because I really, I've seen a bunch of graphs, I've seen a bunch of metrics, but I would like to see something that has like the different dexes, not just, where they started, how many X's, but like their features and how PulseX compares. And more importantly, be able to see, is PulseX doing things that, you could say Pancake Swap or whatever made it extremely popular, or the coin extremely more rare, or whatever it was. So I think some more comparisons, if we have some data on that, would be interesting too. Oh, Coast, here we go. Yeah, it is Cake. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Coast.
That was strangely, Binance was a lot of the inspiration for PulseChain and PulseX. It's kind of, that's what PulseChain really is. It's a baby of Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain kind of mushed together, and Richard Hart picked the best pieces and turned all the knobs and dials.
Yeah. And if those babies had a baby, so Pineapple Express joke. Oh, I miss movies like that. Why can't we have more movies like Pineapple Express and Observe and Report? And I want to bring back all the old Seth Rogen movies and Jonah Hill. And so good. Win Superbad 2, Dev. You couldn't make it today, right? You couldn't make it today. I don't.
Oh yeah, probably not.
It'd be rough. It'd be tough. I'd like to see it. They'd probably mess it up, but still. That's why Richard used Cake for coaching. There you go. I love talking to Coast the other day. We were talking about weight. I did the code review and stuff.
Yes.
Code review.
Great
we
video.
walked through the code. Yeah, you watched it? Okay, nice.
Yep, I watched the whole thing. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we walked through the code together, got to know each function, and how to manually claim and all that stuff. And I can tell talking to, I don't know if this is Stoke or not, because there's a few different people, but at least when I spoke to Stoke, they really seem to have their stuff together. I mean, really smart people over there. So will be interesting to see. Feed the feeder. Feed the feeder. Feed the feeder. There we go.
Thank you, Bitfinex. Appreciate that, my man. There's an OG right there.
Yeah, Bitfinex. I have to have it. I don't know Bitfinex much either. I know he comes on here every once in a while and says some good stuff, but yeah, we're going to talk to him again too.
Oh man, he's a Hexican as hardcore as they come. That's for sure.
I like those Hexicans. Need some more of those. Okay. So positive feedback loops. I know a lot of people talk about those too. What do you see within, maybe with PulseX, third-party token, Pulse, even in HEX? Like what kind of positive feedback loops do you see within the Richard Hart ecosystem of products?
Well, what do you mean by positive feedback loop? Like price specifically, or just in general?
The ones that kind of the products that, maybe they do something that makes the other one more valuable in some way. Kind of like, I guess you could call like Hedron with HEX type of thing. And then further on,
like Synergy,
Icosa, that type of thing. But within Richard's ecosystem, how do you see like PulseX, PulseX kind of playing off each other, or third-party token with PulseX too?
Well, definitely the PulseX coin on the exchange. I forget if they're called the pools, if that's a single-sided staking, right? You just lock up your PulseX and you mine these third-party coins basically for free.
Yeah.
That'll bring synergy to those coins, right? If they're cool. It depends on, and I think we get to vote on that too. So I don't know if it's really like a synergy, but the PulseX coin will allow us as like community members to vote on proposals for which liquidity pools get the incentive coin, which third-party tokens do we want to allow for the single-sided staking. So if the people who vote with those coins, we should be able to pick like cool things to add to the ecosystem that we like. So I'm bullish on that, like the PulseX coin being used to hopefully have some cool votes, right?
What kind of stuff would we vote on too? Like what would incentivize people to use the coins to vote and things like that? What positive could we see come from that?
Like, I mean, if there's like a third-party project or a third-party token that's, legit. Like let's take a Pulse Doge coin, for example. It's fine. It's safe to claim. It's just it's just a coin, nothing ERC20, nothing fancy. To give us the ability to vote to make a liquidity pool where I can put in my Pulse Doge, maybe I can put in some US dollar coins and I'll gain incentive token. Like that's cool. I like that. So it allows you to be preferential with whatever your bags are. You can vote for things you like and you can vote no on things you don't like. So it's a very interesting mechanic. I think not a lot of people talk about that one.
That's something that I know governance and all that topic seems like something that at least a few years ago was used. It was such a buzzword. Everyone's like, oh, but does your token have governance? Does it have these voting protocols? And then it was like this, this thing people would say to kind of one up. And then the response, a lot of times the criticism would be like, well, what are you going to vote on? Seriously, like what is actually going to improve? Like, it doesn't matter. All the votes go to all the, rich people, all the whales, blah, blah, blah. So, but with PulseX, like, how do you think, I guess looking at both sides of that, why would it be different with PulseX? Like, do you actually think that the people who have, a big stake or a stake at all in PulseX, they'll be able to use governance in a way that actually improves the system? Or do you think it's always kind of be like, I don't know, we talk about centralized control and how it's better for price and things. Doesn't that kind of conflict with governance in a way? But, if we got people voting?
Yeah, it does. And even Richard has said that voting is stupid because the plebs vote for the wrong thing. And he's pretty much right. And all the other voting tokens in the past, yeah, they've all sucked. Like there's nothing good to vote on. But for PulseX, being able to choose who gets incentive token and being able to choose which third-party tokens get on the platform, I think that's actually pretty useful. And then you'll have like the random oddball stuff, like upgrades and improvements to maybe just the website. Like, hey, maybe we should add this button just right here that'll automatically add your coin to MetaMask in your asset list real easy, So it could be anything, but especially the incentive token and the pools, that's the key, in my opinion, for the voting. That's going to be huge. That's actually important. That actually works, right?
Yeah. So the incentive token, let's just dig into that just for a sec too. Incentive token would be you get to vote for which ones you want to mine, essentially.
Yes. Which pools, like which pairs of 2 coins do you want to be qualified to get its incentive token? Exactly.
Right. And sorry, what was the other one you said?
The other one is we get to choose which coins of enter the third-party single-sided staking.
Okay, and why is that significant? Why would people choose one or the other for single-sided staking?
Well, that's actually a good question. In my opinion, I would vote yes for pretty much every third-party single-sided staking coin, because I'm just going to mine them anyway and dump them, right, for more PulseX. So it's literally just yield for me. So I don't give a damn what coin it is. Like, as long as it's got a value, I'll stake my PulseX, I get some, and then I sell it. So you're right. I mean, why vote no to free money?
Interesting. That's actually might introduce some game theory there of, hey, the people have voting rights. Will there be some situations where they're no, maybe there's only so many pairs or something that people are going to be interested in using, and they vote in certain ways that the benefit, they have a vested interest here, so they vote this way or not. I wonder what cases there will be that come up will be, actually they voted no on this particular one. Is it, that's a scam, or that's, actually I want to save it for these other tokens I'm interested in. That's one I want to see play out, actually.
Yeah, the scam might be a good one, right? Like
if this use case.
Yeah, like if this coin is known, nefarious, right? Maybe the smart contract is draining people's wallets who do something, who send the coin. I don't know if that's possible, but like that would be a good reason to vote no,
Well, talking about, how most people make the wrong decision, you could use it in a way in governance to crowdsource that type of stuff. Like, hey, make sure you all vote no if you ever see a scam come up. But, how do you know it's a scam? Then you get into, okay, is it really a scam or not? And all this stuff. But I could see that being one legit use case of like, okay, we want to use it as a protection mechanism in a lot of ways that crowdsource this type of information.
Yeah, totally. And maybe down the road, when the tables have finally turned on all the gatekeepers and PulseChain is the #1 blockchain in the world, PulseX is the #1 exchange in the world, and then somebody like Tone Vase makes his coin and he wants to list it on PulseX, and we vote no, and we can keep them. So maybe someday we'll have our last laugh.
I don't know about that. maybe.
But free coins.
I was just saying but in a very interesting way. David, what are you talking about? Looks like we got a question from Jesse from Liquid Loans. Just kidding. We have Hex Squid. Do we need PulseX coin? Would only PLS and incentive not also be okay?
Oh,
I think there's a nugget in there somewhere.
Well, the coin out of those 3 that I really care the least for is the incentive coin. Right? That's just the free coin you get because you're provided liquidity. That's that's like a little cherry on the top of your giant ice cream sundae. It's not a big deal. I'm much more interested in Pulse and PulseX coins.
Yeah, so it depends on what you. So with incentive token, will it be like a new set of tokens that people create, or can it be like Pulse Dogecoin? Can you like get that as incentive, for example?
Oh wow! I mean, I don't know if you could do third-party coins as a reward for liquidity pools. I mean, I guess Richard could, but I think the plan is that it's just incentive token. If you put in, let's say HEX and USDC, you do a liquidity pair on PulseX, you're mining or you're letting people trade and you're getting fees on the liquidity providing. And then you just, as an extra little, hey, good job, you get incentive token. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, so it's gotta be worth something then, because otherwise it wouldn't be incentivizing anything. So if everyone just dumped it, then they wouldn't want it, right? So there's got to be this balance of like, okay, it's actually worth something. So if it is worth something, there'll be a faction of people be like, oh, actually, I love this coin, and a faction of people's like, no, I don't want it. I just want PulseX, right?
Yeah. I don't know who would buy it though. Like, why would you buy incentive coin? Like, I don't know. Like, like there is no plan to do with anything yet, right? There is no staking. Yeah. It inflates. It's not deflationary. You're mint when you claim and you're like, hey, I want my incentive token. I'm pretty sure it just mints it out of thin air and gives it to you, right?
Okay.
So like, it's not, it's not amazing. It's really just a trick to get people to put in liquidity into PulseX. Like, that's all it is. It's a carrot on a stick. Like, it's nothing fancy.
Interesting. I wonder if that'll be, well, there's got to be figured out though, because if everyone thinks it's, worthless, then they're not going to be wanting to put up liquidity, right?
Well, I mean, it'll have value and you'll be able to sell it. But if you look in the testnet, I'm pretty sure the chart for incentive token is just down and to the right. Yeah, people mine it and they sell it, and why do I want incentive token? I want other coins.
Interesting. So from testnet, we can kind of see what some of the moves that people are making that may transfer over to mainnet too. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what I do with my incentive token. I sell it and I buy Pulse, and then I use that Pulse and I stake to my validator. And it's just this never-ending cycle. I get to mint it every day.
Well, so somebody's buying it because it has a value, though, right?
Yeah. There is a liquidity. So this is like meta. They've incentivized the pools to add liquidity for incentive token.
Oh, yeah.
So if you take incentive token and you take Pulse and you put it into liquidity, you get even more incentive token. So we're tricking people into even putting their incentive token in the liquidity. So that's a positive feedback loop right there, actually.
Wow. I don't think a lot of people know that, man. I think you just went meta. You went
because that's what gives it the value, So you're incentivized to let people buy and sell your incentive token.
And these mechanics, incredible.
Yeah. So depending on the supply, that's going to be the key. Is like, how much incentive token do you really get? If you get like, I don't know, 10,000 for like every couple days, that's a lot of supply. But if you only get like one incentive token every like 4 days and you put in a bunch of liquidity, maybe they will be like $50 each, $100 each, and they're actually kind of like, I don't want to say rare, but there's not a lot of supply. That could be cool.
Yeah, supply mechanics. It's funny because we're so used to large supplies with the other products.
Yes.
Will incentive token be not large supply because it's playing off a different dynamic in game theory?
Totally. And then I think that would help spice things up because like you just said, we're all used to big supplies. So to have a coin with a very little supply is very strange. It's not normal or usual, I should say. We don't typically have it. Like Pulse Dogecoin, to use an example, like that's pretty low supply. I mean, it's like 5 million or 6 million right now. It's not a lot. So
5, 6, 7, something like that. And that claim phase is about to end, so we will see the final numbers soon. Yeah.
Shout out to my man Corey. Thank you for having me on the other day. It was a great stream.
Yeah. Corey's here. Always good to have him. I think I'm going on his show week or two. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. That'll be a good one. All right. You and Corey, hell yeah.
I'm not a guest that much these days. I've been so busy hosting that when I am a guest, I'm like, oh, this is nice. I don't have to do anything. I just have to show up. It's good. I like this.
Now you know why I don't stream on my channel and I love being a guest.
Man, I get it. I do. Everyone who doesn't stream that much, but they're a guest everywhere, like, you guys are living the dream. You're like on island time.
Yep. I click the button. I show up. Here I am. That's it.
Nice.
Oh, dude, he was like ex-Marines, or not Marine, but he was definitely like Special Forces, bro.
I think he's tough through. Yeah,
bro. There's no violence. This is just intellectual sparring, bro. Yeah. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah. Although it would be nice to, at the Pulse conference in September, I think it'd be cool to have some events where either kickboxing or stuff where, I mean, for Hexkins, Pulsekins who are physical and athletic and want to do stuff like, or just want to try their hand at it, see how strong you are. I think it'd be cool to do like some coordinated wrestling or kickboxing or boxing and stuff like, with a ring and you got headgear and all that stuff, all in good fun. But I think that would be cool. I think I'd be interested in participating in that.
Yeah,
it'd be fun. But yeah, not like an actual fight.
Yeah,
you got to watch out. Like some people like, you don't, if they're wearing like UFC shorts or something, watch out. You don't want to piss them off too much. Know your limits. It's okay to be, it's okay to, don't be a coward, but at the same time, be like, it's not such a good idea to mess this particular person.
Yeah, you should know your limits and know your opponent. That's a big thing. I know what I'm capable of, and based on, I'm usually capable. I know what other people are capable of. So
yes. Especially when you see them in real life, you can really, like, in real life, you can actually size the other person. Okay. This may not go so well if we ever had to you can do stuff like that. But anyways, nobody's fighting. Nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
We're good.
Just fighting
We're just trying to intellectual wrestle. That almost sounds
over the internet.
Way, but on the internet. Now it's getting nasty when you say on the internet. Everything on the internet is nasty, isn't it? We got a lot of Tone Bay's comments here. Tone Bay sounds like he lives in Sheep's Head Bay. Is there a particular accent from Sheep's Head Bay in New York?
Yeah. Da ba.
That's the accent. Everyone just walks around. Da. Oh God. So okay, this one's funny. Okay. All right, calm it down, chat. Calm it down. Yeah, he does. I mean, so something, we have all the fun and we say, yes. Oh my God, that video though, with all the haters, every video, there's like 3 or 4 when Richard just, the movie scene, they put his head on there, he goes in with machine gun, blah, blah, blah. It's got all the haters saying funny comments and you got to die everywhere. Those are hilarious. Whoever's making those, oh my God, I want to give you money. You're hilarious, whoever's making that. But I said that to say, we all disagree with Tone's views on HEX and maybe Bitcoin and stuff like that. But I like this query. There are these people a lot of them are still smart people in a lot of other areas, and you may agree with them in a lot of stuff too. Like I'm a libertarian, so even though there's plenty of people who say stupid shit sometimes about other things, if they're a libertarian, I'm like, oh, cool, okay, I appreciate your views in that area. So yeah, just be mindful of that. People aren't their particular view that you don't like of them. Yeah, they're a lot more than that. So.
Yes, people are people. They're not their views or beliefs or hopes or anything like that. Yeah, we are not what we say. Yeah, yep.
Yes, but now you got me doing it. I almost want to say, it almost naturally comes out now. Naturally comes out. Richard Jr. Yeah, it's contagious. Yeah. I will credit Staked Wealth for this amazing. Well, I think he got it from Pulse Doge. The first one that's on BSC or whatever, they had a bunch of artwork, and then he used it during their interview. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because I guess he removed, or somebody removed Richard, because I had a Richard version, animated version in the chair. Removed that, and now it's perfect for streams. It's like the best, one of my favorite backgrounds. I don't use it very often. I only use it for feeder interviews in particular lately.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, that's a special guest. Get the throne. RHMax. Yeah, that's true. That's what I thought you said. RH for a second. I was like, holy shit, Corey, that's amazing. But just the other one, just the RHMax guy. What's up, Steve? All right, let's get into actually any more questions in the chat real quick before I go on. I don't want to miss them. You guys are killing it. Thank you for all the speaking size of how tall are you? So Fashion Coder. Well, I would say Fashion Coder, as you could probably tell, is not a large person in real life. So it made me and Brand both look very large, but neither Brand nor I are 6'7". Fashion Coder is just, she's fun size. She's a great person too. Really had a lot of fun with her, hanging out when she came to meet up the other day. But she is not a large person, so we looked much bigger beside her. I agree. I think you speak of JFK 666 videos. Oh, is that the guy that makes the memes, all that action movie scenes and the Matrix? I think the Matrix one too.
Yep.
That was
And
pretty
Star
good.
Wars. Yep.
Star Wars, Matrix, just someone where he just goes into a building. Oh, the airport one. That was amazing. Airport one goes through the. That's where Tone is literally sitting there, and he got the bag, and he opens it up, and there's like a bomb or something, and he's like, "Da!" and he starts shooting it. Oh, somebody pay JFK or give him some social credit or something. Like, I appreciate that. Yeah, hit the like. All right, we're gonna go on to some. Everyone ask some questions. When you have some questions too, if you have any, and I will stop and check it every once in a while. But we're gonna get into some other topics. We're gonna save liquid loans for a little bit later, so stay tuned. But Pulse, another question I'm sure you've never answered before in your entire life, but I want to know. So with PulseChain, what exactly, like, can you just synthesize, like, what is the delay? And like, how much longer before we at least have a new test net, do you think?
Oof. Well,
yeah, tall order, I know.
Yeah, so the most recent news we got was from Richard on the Pulse Online conference like 2 weekends ago. It's like 13 days ago.
Yeah.
Basically, he disclosed for the first time. It was news to me. I never heard this. He's got 2 teams. He's got the original developer team that's been doing the test nets, and they've been working on it for a year. And then he's got like another team that he's kind of hired to like do their own version and probably with some changes, and it's not quite the same. And so they're both racing to make they call it an MVP, like what do they call that? Like
minimal viable product.
Thank you. Yes. So he kind of split them, and then let's see who gets to the finish line first.
That's interesting because, yeah, you said, I remember watching that. You said that the 2 teams are working on 2 different versions, but I'm interested in, like, if 2 different versions, one of them is going to make it, one of them has more features or different features or something. I believe you said, that's going to be, I mean, it seems like if you got 2 dev teams and they're going full speed ahead, and it's been, a couple months now, right? It's been a couple months since we knew there's been a delay, or at least a few weeks. And
yeah,
if I were to speculate, I would say there was probably a problem before Richard even came out and said it, but he thought it'd be finished quicker. So in that case, maybe they've been working on it for the last 2 months or longer. I just can't see. I got a big background in big tech, and some of the engineering side, and it's like I can't see, if you got a really competent dev team, how much longer it could be to at least get a test net. Not launch. I'm not talking about launch yet, but like at least get 2B or something out there. It seems like if you got 2 teams that are just killing it in those directions, is it there? I don't know. I just like, part of me, like the optimistic side, thinks that, okay, well, we may make it for PulseCon. Who knows? September. That seems, we got 6 weeks away for that. And the other part's like, wow. I mean, it's going to be amazing when it comes out, but it just seems like a lot of devs and a lot of time for something that doesn't seem that serious. But that's my speculation.
Yeah. It's hard to speculate. Yeah, and I'm not a developer myself, so yeah, I'm not sure about the difficulty there, or what, if there really is a huge benefit to having the 2 teams. It's because I don't, because once the critical, and I think I'm speculating, I think it's a DDoS attack. I think there's some DDoS attack that works on the validators, and they know it. So right now, I think both teams, they've got private test nets that they're building, and they make a version. And now I think, like Richard alluded to this, like they're doing tests on it. So I think they're going to DDoS the hell out of it. They're going to fake full blocks. You got, there's a lot of different parameters and situations that they want to make sure that the blockchain doesn't halt. We don't want to pull a Solana. And I bet there's probably a handful of things.
So many Solanas.
Yeah. And I bet there's a bunch of ways you could pull a Solana. I can DDoS all your validators. I can, do spam transactions. Who knows what, it's beyond, you know, I'm not a like a red hat, or I'm not on the red team, so I don't know what's possible, but they got to make sure that all that stuff is fixed on either of his two dev teams. You know, there's probably a checklist of items they have to pass, right?
Yeah, checklist. Maybe they're even hiring. I can imagine they're hiring contractors too to just come in and be like, all right, security people, go DDoS the crap out of this and make sure this is fixed. And if it's not fixed, like, tell us, what is your suggestion? Like, how can we, make this go forward? I wonder too with the two teams, Team Gucci versus Team TJ Maxx. I don't know. I think I would say more Team Gucci versus Team Louis Vuitton or something. I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Well, but maybe one of them dresses better than the other. I could see that too. And Richard's sorting by that. You never know. I wonder if they get bounties and stuff. They're like, all right, two teams compete, because he's like the master at motivation and like just all this game theory in life, even outside of software and stuff. I wonder if he has them like, all right, the first one gets get some sort of bounty, get some sort of bonus, and however he pays them and stuff like that, or whoever pays them, however they are aligned to get this work done. I have no idea, but I wonder if they let.
I know a little bit about that.
Competition is fierce. Oh, go for it.
There were some job postings. I think Richard was offering like $150,000 salary, like minimum, if you're a good enough dev, and then he hires you.
Gotcha.
Hey, you work full time. It's I think even Hex Live in the chat here is an OG and a really nice guy, and he's an actual developer.
Nice.
I think he applied for the job. And yeah, it's brutal. I mean, even Richard up front's like, hey, bro, he's like, we work 50 hours a week around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no, you're not taking hour lunch breaks every day. Like, I want you to code. I'm going to pay you well, but I want code. So it's very demanding. He wants the best of the best.
Startups are they're pretty fierce places, and 80 hours a week, especially in Silicon Valley, is common a lot of times when you're trying to ship something. Can you imagine trying to ship this product? I know he's trying to balance the pressure and stuff too, and I'm sure he knows the different tricks and things. And hopefully everything just goes as quickly as possible. Nobody gets burned out. Everyone's just kind of like, all right, we're in the last leg. I got a huge incentive to do this and get paid, all this stuff. But also they get to see this beautiful product come to life, and we all think it's going to appreciate much, much more than when it launches. There's one team Solidity, other team Golang. I think this. I mean, again, just pure speculation. Solidity part would be the smart contract portion, and the Golang would be like the infrastructure, the interaction with the contract, things like that, a lot of the back end stuff. So I would imagine they're probably both team Golang, if I were to guess. I would say they got the Solidity part, most of it pretty tightened up, I would say. I don't think that's where some of the bugs came out. I would say, if I were to guess, I would say the DOS bug came from the Golang, some of the Golang code, just purely off guessing here.
I bet you're right. Yeah. And I think the other team, like the second one, part of their job is to take that smart contract that controls the validators and the delegation and the rotational blocks, is to pull that out of the Solidity and the EVM and have that as the infrastructure. So that way the voting website for voting isn't like, we're not wasting block space, we're not wasting gas. It's just not efficient.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah. I guess the other two devs need to work more closely. I'm sure.
Yeah. To know.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not like this. I think they all win. PulseChain launches sooner than later.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure they know that. Take the original team, tighten up. Doug Griffin says, my take with the original team are tightening up what they've done. Other teams converting to Golang. Yeah, that makes sense too. If they have like a handoff deal where they're like, okay, you all work on this particular problem, and then we'll test it and give you feedback, and then back and forth. I could see that too. That would be a lot of software teams do that. You have like devs and you have testers and you have people who are full stack, but a lot of times they split up very particular pieces of development to say, okay, I'll write this, but then you go make sure it actually works and stuff like that. There's different models of development, but that's I could see that too. What's the so looking beyond that, what is the best and worst case scenario for what happens during launch? Like the first week, the first month, the first year, like what are we just hoping for that happens in this time frames? and what are we just totally, we don't want anything to do with? Like, we just hope this does not happen during PulseChain launch.
Well, what we don't.
I'm only here to ask you big questions.
Yeah, like really, what we don't want is we don't want Solana. We don't want the blockchain to stop, because I think last year the testnet did halt one time and had to be restarted. We've seen it. It happened once. So that's the worst case scenario, man, is some kind of outage, some kind of just down. We have to avoid that at all costs. So that's probably the reason for the big delay. Now, the best case scenario is everything works flawlessly. The chain comes up, the bridge is up within 24 to 48 hours. We can go back and forth from Ethereum. PulseX.com is up and running. The Harvester bot takes all the liquidity from Uniswap and 1inch and all those other dexes. It drains all those. I hope that works well, because that's going to be like the bootstrap for the PulseX exchange, right? We're going to take everybody's coins that they forgot to take out of their Uniswap liquidity positions, and we steal them from them and we inject it in there. So there are a lot of pieces that have to kind of fall into place to make this look like a perfect rollout and a perfect launch. Yeah.
So what do you see the first week? What kind of madness can you imagine happening? Good or bad?
Geez, I mean, I see just on PulseX exchange alone, like huge volatility, right? Like, PulseChain's worth this much, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then all the other, like, the prices are going to be crazy. I expect the ratios to just a lot of volume, a lot of volatility. You may buy something today, you're wrecked tomorrow, you're doing great the next day. It's just like very, I don't know how, like, I think it's going to be a wild ride. Basically, it's going to be pretty, because there's so much uncertainty. Then I think there's going to be maybe some pools that the Harvester bot misses. Then there's some guy with a lot of PRC20s that he got his free copy of, and he dumps them. He sucks all the pulse out of one side of a pair. I think there's going to be some huge opportunities for that, for people who are watching and have some rare exotic coins. You might get rich just draining liquidity pools.
Is that something you think people are looking for now? If they knew which ones are being targeted for liquidity pools, is it just like I know Rich talked about Uniswap and stuff like that, but what about all the other dexes that have liquidity? People like, let's be a liquidity provider because now we can, gain some advantage on PulseChain.
Yeah, because on Ethereum right now, I think like Uniswap, like version 3, and then version 2, and then 1inch, and then what's called SushiSwap. I think that's where most of the volume is. And to my knowledge, I think HarvesterBot gets most of those coins out of there. But it's hard to say, like, which coins you want to try to bring over for the fork, right? Like, or which ones you want to hold now to get your PRC20 so you can try to do something like this. I don't know, man. It really is it's kind of a crapshoot right now. What I mean?
Couldn't anybody stand up a new DEX? Let's say, a week before launch or something. And just imagine there's got to be some edge cases where people could just stand up a DEX or go to some obscure one, put up some liquidity, HarvesterBot doesn't get it, and now they got a whole bunch of PRC20s. I wonder if there's any protections in place for that, or if I'm sure that the dev teams thought about it. Maybe they're like, can't get them all, or they're like,
I bet it's kind of a you can't get them all kind of thing, and it's just we got to do the best we can, and just by doing Uniswap, that's like the majority of liquidity. But I think there will be a couple exceptions that sneak by.
Yeah. Interesting. So when do you think it calms down? When do you think, like, the first year, let's say it launches later this year, and we're at this point, 2023. Like, how would you imagine the sentiment will be? Do you think we're still super gate kept? Do you think there's a pulsemarketcap.com where we can actually see prices? Like, what do you see?
There will always be a level of gatekeeping. Yeah. Like coinmarketcap.com, they'll never list HEX right. They'll never list Pulse right, PulseX. They're not going to list any of the PRC20s. Central Coinbase will probably never pick it up. Gemini will never support us. Yeah, like all the old Bitcoiners and all the gatekeepers that are gatekeeping HEX now, they're pretty much going to remain. I don't see any change. There's no way they're going to support PulseChain, in my opinion. I don't see it coming. So it'll be the same, but it's just more opportunity. I think the first 6 months of PulseChain might be kind of quiet from a like measured against the whole cryptosphere, right? It's not that much volume. It's not that much money. Yeah. But then after a year or two, that's when the tide's going to turn. And then eventually it'll be like the old days. It'll be like, we'll have our 2018 year. PulseChain is pumping hard. Everybody's super bullish. There's 1,000,001 scams and rug pulls and shit coins you can waste your pulse on, and everybody's like going nuts. Like that. Yeah, that time will come again, just like it had for Ethereum in like 2017, 2018. We'll have like our golden year.
Do you think, can you see, is this, I see a lot of, influencers and stuff and people in the community launching their new coins, all these things. I don't have a commentary on that being good or bad, but do you think the incentives around PulseChain, the excitement, does that make people want to do more stuff like that? And sort of they see an opportunity where, to get on both chains and things like that. And do you think there'll be more of that? Do you think there'll be, more people in the community launching coins on PulseChain because it's just such this big event that it's so tempting to do so?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot they have good intentions. And I think even Richard has said this before. There's a lot of scams that don't even know they're scams yet, because they start as a legit project, but then they don't really get a lot of traction, and then they just rug pull, or there's a hack, and everybody loses their money. So it's usually, sometimes it's nefarious, and sometimes it's just dumb shit. But that's going to happen to like 90% of all the coins. You go to pulsehotlist.com. Yeah, I mean, that list is actually half decent right now, but there's a lot of trash on that list. The trash is going to get huge, dude. It's going to be just like Ethereum back in the day. Like, there's going to be thousands of shit coins that you could waste your money on, and it's going to be a lot of communities leeching off of us. It's going to be insane. It really will be insane. But that's why we're winning. Then like Pulse will be pumping, and as long as you don't fall for that stuff on a personal level, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I like it how the list looks okay right now, but would not buy stock in that list going the next 2 years. It may be a lot of projects.
It's going to be a long list. It's going to be a lot of junk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Falcon Crypto, no, you're not in fact invisible. It's hard to I don't know if that was like you were looking for that, or you were testing something, or did I miss one of your comments? But no, in fact, you are not. I acknowledge you. You've been acknowledged. Yes. Just scrolling up to see if there's something I missed. Maybe your previous comments were invisible because I don't see them, but this one, no sir. Patrice, tons of scams and rogue income. Yep, that's what we're looking for. What's up, Blue Bum? Hey y'all, what's up, Hex Hodl? Alex waiting for comments. Yeah, I guess it is Friday. I keep forgetting because I usually do a 4:00 Pacific time slot Friday, and Cabana must do a 3 or 2 o'clock, I imagine, or 5. I guess it'd be 5 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, 2 p.m. Pacific for happy hour.
Okay. Yep, that's right. Liquid loans. The people want to know. The people want. You want to talk about oracles?
Yeah, of course.
About oracles.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I'm trying to think the most productive way to go down this hole. Can you just explain what are oracles? Why are they important? What are the risks when you might want to use one or not? And then with the liquid loans in particular, do we get any clarification on what they're doing? And if not, dare you speculate?
Yep. So an oracle is a server or a piece of software that it reaches out into the real world in some way. Maybe it gets a price from Coinbase. Maybe it reads the temperature on a digital thermometer. And it takes that number and that data and it brings it back to the blockchain. And then that's used in like a program. for whatever purpose. So that's what an oracle is. It's like it helps bring real life data to the blockchain. Now, the problem is that that's like the weakest point of failure, and like blockchains, that's where shit breaks down, because either the oracle makes a mistake, or the oracle lies, or the human who controls the oracle lies, and like it could be manipulated. So the oracles, it's a necessary evil, and you need it for projects, but it's a huge like attack vector, right? It's a huge security risk.
I just want on that too. Do you know of any examples of oracles being attacked and like there being bad data that's caused something to go wrong? I'm just curious. Are there any public examples of that yet?
Oh man, oh god, I forget the name of the project, but I could have sworn there was one where an oracle got a bad price feed from some exchanges, and it got people liquidated because it was like the price of a coin, and the oracle reaches out and it's like, hey, what's the price of the coin? And it comes back and it had the wrong answer, and it screwed up people's orders and like liquidation, or I don't I forget the project name, but yeah, like it's rare though. It doesn't happen all the time, and I'm not aware of any issues with Chainlink having problems, but I'm not really digging into it either. I don't know much about Chainlink. I don't own the coin. I don't use it. I'm not a fan. I don't, so.
Well, I know Wait is using Chainlink. When we walked through the contract, I saw that.
Yes.
And I think they're using it because they don't know when the Pulse launch date is. They don't know when the launch dates for other things are. So, instead of hard coding a date or, having some admin key to do all this stuff, they needed to have an oracle to perform this. So in that case, it seems like worst case, bad information calls, they get a wrong launch date or something. Then maybe people get a little less coins or something like that. I guess it's different in certain cases where, if you're using it for margin trading or otherwise that can escalate calls and things, that may be a little more risky. They definitely seem like, and I'll let you go on with oracles, but they definitely seem like there's certain cases where they're more risky than others. But yeah, Chainlink is one example. You can continue on that if you like.
Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of what they are, right? And there's other, Chainlink's just one of them. I'm not too familiar with them or their competitors because I don't really use this stuff, but there is Oracle software out there. Blue Bomb, they got the feed from the NYSEX. I think that's a joke.
I think it's a legit comment. Yeah, I think he's actually being like that. I think he was commenting on the one where you got the bad data, stuff like that. But nice way of spelling it.
Yeah. So because Richard says this, I mean, I'm quoting Richard Hart here, is like when the blockchain reaches out to touch the real world, that's where shit breaks down. That's what you don't want to do, right? Like that's anything on the blockchain should just stay in the blockchain.
He says that. Also, I have a feeling that when he finds a way to use oracles that, for one of the RH products, I have a feeling he may be one of those, when the facts change, my mind change, and he'll be like, well, certain cases of oracles are okay. I have a feeling that might be the case one day. Or maybe he's developing internally more secure stuff too. There's certainly a lot of people using them for different things. I guess the different risk service depends on what you're using them for and what your source is and stuff. I wonder how Chainlink I'm going to imagine Chainlink has some, things. They may have some riskier oracles versus, high risk, low risk, all this stuff too. If I were building it, that would make sense to do, try to warn people, hey, don't take advantage of this type of thing. So with liquid loans, did we get any clarification on their oracles or what's going on there?
So I guess word on the street is they're not going with Chainlink, but there's another, I don't know, vendor or company that makes oracles and oracle software that they have partnered with and are working with, but they're not able to disclose the name or the partnership at this time. That's the last I've heard. So, but they've confirmed it's not Chainlink. Yeah.
Gotcha. The catcher maximum products use hex day as a calendar oracle. It works because you don't have to trust someone set the day. Yeah, there you go. It seems like an extremely low risk way to use an oracle.
Well, that doesn't leave the blockchain though. It's not really an oracle, right? Because it's Ethereum code, right? It's an oracle in the fact that it has to reach out to another smart contract to get the answer. But I don't think it's an oracle in the fact that it's like an independent server that's like off the blockchain that then has to like compute and reach out, right? But DivCatcher can correct me if that's the case.
Yeah, DivCatcher, elaborate if you'd like to on that. I wonder where hex day.
Yeah, he says it works because you don't have to trust someone to set the day. Yeah, because like it's just code. Yeah.
Blue Bums discussing commentary. HEX contracts come from this team.
Yeah, it's all in the chain. Exactly. It's not like external data source.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that's a good distinction. Oracles that use blockchain data versus reach out to the real world. I could see those, less risky versus more risky.
And then it's like, what is your external data source? Is it a SQL database run by a company? Is it a digital thermometer? Is it a telescope? Is it, what do you got it plugged into, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could see like the worst example being there's some website that has some number on it that you use. What if they change the website? What if the website gets hacked? Even if you trust it, like, is the single point of failure that one web service out there that you think nobody knows about, but then they get hacked or somebody finds out and they change the value and now everything's screwed? It's definitely a more risky version of it. But yeah, point is, everyone, there's different kinds of oracles and with higher and lower risk profiles.
Yeah. And then to use liquid loans as an example, because I like picking on them.
No, you don't.
So they're going to be using it for price feeds. They're going to be asking decentralized and centralized exchanges for what is the price of Pulse, like every second. And then, and then they're probably going to average it, which is smart, right? Because they're going to get it from Uniswap on Ethereum. And let's say Coinbase, real simple example. Uniswap never lies. It's a smart contract, right? It's Coinbase, centralized exchange. They lie all the time. They turn their servers off all the time. You can't trust them for a second. Their price data is probably pretty crap. Uniswap's is pretty rock solid. You take the two, average them out, and boom, there's your price.
I can see programmatically you putting in some safeguards of saying, okay, we're going to do an average, and if the deviation is like insane, then we just throw it out. We say, nope, we're gonna stop poll for another 60 seconds. Try again, and then we're gonna have some backup mechanism. I think there's some ways to make that a little more secure.
And weight them just by who they are. You can just give Uniswap more value as like, there you go. Some type of time weighted and moving median. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you just kind of take the blend of all of your sources, which is good. That's awesome.
Good.
So to summarize, for liquid loans and other projects that need oracles, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You need them, otherwise the project won't work. So, it is what it is. It's really all about the data. It's like, where's your data source? Is that clean? Is that good?
Boo! We want dunking fetter. Bring him back.
Yeah, I know. Well, all right, fine. Well, here's some FUD. It's like, okay, who is their oracle guys? Like, who is this team? What company is it? What other projects have they done? Why aren't you using Chainlink? They're number one. Like, you could go on and on, but it's all just.
There's definitely that would be interesting too to see like what is the straw man / legit criticism and what is the steel man case. Let's do that. Let's round it on a nice note. Steel man the case why liquid loans and oracles are fine.
I don't know what that expression means.
Oh, the opposite of straw man. Make the argument really, really strong for the opposing view, for example.
Like dissenting.
So in this side, it would be let's take your conversation earlier. You're bullish on liquid loans?
Yeah, like contrary to my thread yesterday and all the shenanigans on Twitter, I'm actually bullish because they should be able to pull this off. It does work for liquidity. Like oracles are legit. It's just a matter of building them and fine tuning them, making sure they work. So to be, in the end, actually, I am bullish on liquid loans. The product should function just fine. there shouldn't be any problem. There shouldn't be any Oracle risk. It's really the biggest risk is actually just users getting liquidated because they don't know what they're doing. Other than that, I don't see any problem with the product itself whatsoever.
Yeah. Boo! No, just kidding. No, everyone, do not.
Yeah, they're here to see blood. I know, but sorry, guys. It's it's
the blood is on the internet at a site called Twitter.com.
Mm-hmm.
Dipcatcher, you are an invaluable member of this community. Really appreciate you joining the stream and giving us some giving us some better info than we're able to come up on our own sometimes. So always appreciate it, man. I got to have you back on the show too. It's always fun to talk to Dipcatcher.
Absolutely. And yeah, shout out to him for all the success with Maxi. And I'm super bullish on the new coins, Team, Deci, Trio, Lucky, Base.
Jesus, I didn't know their names yet. Wow. Yeah, it's like a family tree.
Dude, it's so bullish, man. I personally think all 4 of those coins, the time lock ones, I think they're all going to get their big payday bonus. So that's 150 million hex each. Yeah, totally. Because especially now that hex is lower than what it was when Maxi was first minted, hex was more expensive. Now it's cheaper. So people should be able to throw in more hex or buy some and put it in. And then for me personally, I'm taking half my Maxi and I'm minting that into Team. And then I'm just keeping the other half Maxi. I'm just holding on to that. So I'm going to have all the coins of the whole set.
Wow. Collect them all. Got to catch them all.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
We need that meme. Somebody make that. Gotta catch them all. Maximus.
It's Maximus holding like a Pokeball.
Yes. It's you got the, let's see, we got to put Dipcatcher's face in there somewhere. And then there's also the Gladiator guy. He's in there too. There was some good memes. I remember Maximus launch. There was some great Gladiator memes and different photos. That was really fun. It was like a very nice period of Maximus launch. I remember that was nice.
That was kind of kumbaya, and it was a great product. And Maximus is great. Like, yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
And man, that chart, god damn. It's one of the best charts I've seen in so long, dude. Double the premium on the hex. Whoo, baby.
Not a bad chart.
Whew, good stuff.
Not a bad chart at all. DC Dipcatcher. Hex, man. I know you know a little bit about that, right?
I may know a thing or two about Hex, just a little.
Oh, he's got the tattoo. I love the tattoo. It's so bright too. It's so just nice.
It came out good.
Nice. I mean, it's just nice when I see it. It's so good color. Very good. Whoever your artist was, they did an excellent job too.
Mm-hmm.
Wheel PX dumped so hard that it'll be like getting in Hex in day 1 or week 1, whatever.
No. No way.
Why? Because there's a lot of people, I've said before too, I think, on the pre-bridge too, the ratios are going to be irrational. A very nice way of saying it.
Yes.
I think it's going to be crazy. I mean, literally like, I was talking to Wells the other day and I was like, 7-1 PLS to BX for like 10 minutes, just like crazy stuff. Well, 2-1, 3-1, and he had interesting responses to it too. So I'm not saying that crazy, but at the same time, I'm just like, PX, everyone dumps the free coins, right? How hard will it dump? And will there be that opportunity to be like, you know what? I'm gonna get in, Hex after big payday type prices, but you don't think it'll go that far? What do you think?
On PHEX, man, I really don't expect it to dump too much. I think there's going to be too much buy pressure because we've all been jonesing for it for so long. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are selling their Ethereum hex for PHEX. So if anything, EHEX is going to dump and PHEX is going to pump. And this is speculation, but
I don't know which one's more scary.
Because what do you want in the end? Do you want to, now that PulseChain's out?
Yeah.
Like, do you want Ethereum hex or do you want PulseChain hex? And then you can just use it on PulseChain. I don't know. And then there's going to, their prices also, though, if enough liquidity enters, and here's speculation, if the origin address brings over Ethereum hex coins and then takes PHEX and EHEX and puts them into PulseX as liquidity, it'll kind of bond their prices together and make their prices go toward the same. So in the end, like 2 years from now, Ethereum HEX at $1, PHEX at $1, easy.
Yeah, so that's something, yeah, that I've heard talked about a lot. Why wouldn't people providing liquidity, bonding these pairings, why wouldn't they want both to be worth the same, parity, a lot, not worthless, not dump so hard? It'd be their best interest if they have a lot of it.
Right. Right. Yeah. And for somebody, who's got both, but you want to keep it liquid. You don't want a stake. Maybe it's your 10% of your bag, but it's just EHEX and it's just PHEX. Well, I love them both equally, so I'll put them in liquidity. I don't care if I end up with a little more of one or the other in the end, because I love them both. So I expect a lot of people to shove in liquidity, and the more they do, the more that price should be the same. It should be dollar for dollar. Yeah. So it should happen, right?
I think there's definitely a case for it, but I think every time we think about these scenarios, there's so many different, you're trying to, as Richard says too, it's hard to predict what people are going to do. We know they're going to FOMO, but which way? And not just what kind of decisions will they? So if you assume most people will make bad decisions because they're not professional traders, for example, what does that do? If we assume everyone makes the wrong decision, how does that explode, prices on either side?
That's a good question. And there are some nefarious whales in the ecosystem too, who, have been dumping in bottoms. And
PulseX sack phase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
those exact guys who pulled that stuff off, what are they going to do? Shenanigans, they're going to be dumping coins and pumping coins, and they're going to dump their pulse and cry about it. And, it's going to be wild. So, it's very hard to predict what they're going to do.
I throw no shade at Wells, but I did not expect that to happen. That was crazy. That was crazy. I give respect to all Wells, regardless of what they do with their coins, but damn, that PulseX sack phase was rough for HEX. Did not turn out the way most people thought it was going to turn out.
Yeah.
Is EHEX, I guess I would say, good time to buy? Is it going lower? What do you think? I
mean, it's always a good time to buy because the T-share price in HEX terms always goes up. But yeah, I mean, honestly, from like a numbers.
Don't throw those facts out, David. Give us the hardcore emotional answer.
It depends if you already got some or not. If you're brand new and you don't own any HEX, buy some now at 4 cents. That's fine. If you've already got a ton of HEX and you're looking to buy the dip, you could wait till a penny. We might get it. I don't know. I expect a black swan event before the end of the year that just destroys all markets, and then we get to the true bottom. And I personally am speculating that the true bottom for HEX is sub penny, not by much, maybe 0.008, just under a penny, just under. And that's going to be for like a minute. You need to have limit orders at like above a penny to get filled, right? Because it's just going to wick down and then we're up, and then that's the bottom forever. So good luck catching that 1 cent bottom, but that should come in within the next 5 months before the end of the year. I'd say look at that 1 cent wick, and that's a buy. But if you got nothing today, get some. Like, don't wait, because it's not that big of a difference from here to there when you're looking at back to 50 cents or $1. Like, that's a 10x from here plus. So like a 10x that's good. So don't be shy. Get some HEX.
Don't be shy. Get some HEX. I want that bumper sticker. That is nice. Yeah, that's a good point in the Black Swan event. Had we, without that happening, it sure seems like 3 or 4 cents is holding up pretty strong right now.
Yes.
But, and what, like those crazy events, macro trends, another war, something like that, it's gotta, people do irrational things, and that includes not holding not towing the line for the HEX price too. So
yes,
I don't think it doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like in the US broadly. I've heard other people talk about this too, which kind of, I guess influences me, but I don't I don't see, because I watched the All In podcast with a bunch of Silicon Valley guys, and they're always talking about some of these macro trends, and I keep hearing from them too, and it kind of makes me believe it, that in the U.S. at least, I think we're the luckiest as far as it goes for inflation. I think Europe and otherwise is dealing with much more. Yeah, much more.
Every other country's on fire right now. There are riots in every country in the world. Like Sri Lanka, like kicked out their president. They stormed the palace. Like Europe is on lot. Like farmers are protesting. Oh, dude, America's like, we're living pretty, man. I look outside my window. There ain't no cops in the street. We got food at my table. Like we're all cool. Everybody else is in rough shape around the world.
It seems to be the sentiment of. A lot of people keep buying stuff. They don't seem to be like, oh, we're going to start cutting back, and demand doesn't seem to be going down. It's like, nope, it's summertime. We're going on vacation. We're buying stuff. I'm not pulling out all my investments. Doesn't seem to be. We'll see if that holds, because that could be, if something did happen and all that stuff happened. If the rest of the world feels pain, I don't think we're going to be unaffected. I don't think we're decorrelated in that way.
Yeah. I'm a Winter's Game of Thrones. Winter's coming. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Think about Germany, winter, Russian gas.
They're going to be putting wood fire stoves in Germany. That's what they're going to be doing. Chopping wood.
Well, opportunity. I mean, I don't want to make, what's the phrase? What is the phrase when you take advantage of crisis like that? I forget the phrase, but not buying blood. But anyways, might be a good time to get into the stove business in Europe. Maybe a huge surge of like contract. When COVID happened too, all the tent companies, they're like selling tents everywhere for all that outdoor seating and all that stuff. So it will be interesting in an unfortunate way, but it'll be interesting to see what new businesses and what new, good things come from these type of things. Because there's always, with every crazy bad event, there's always some good that comes from it, or some new business that that does.
There's always something to sell during a crisis. Yeah, well, I'll go to Germany and start selling some wood splitting axes, and those like pneumatic wood splitters, those potbelly stoves. Yeah, bro, like that's gonna be cash over there, man.
You trying to chop down some trees? We don't. This is your ESG score is going down right now. Down. It's in the shitter.
ESG. God. We'll talk about a scam. Oh, man.
Mexican said ETH 2.0 6 years ago. I don't know what that means. Were they did Mexico in general come out with a statement on ETH 2.0? Oh, this is Serge. He likes to say funny things. That's right. I forgot about him. I forgot.
Oh,
Serge. He said it was funny the other day, though. He said something.
I didn't know any bills left.
He said, Blue Bum's just trolling him back. This is funny. He was it during Wells? Yeah, I had Wells on. He said he just like one comment, failed projects. And we were talking about, in the context of it, or when I read the comment at least, we were talking about floppy disks 3.5 versus 5.4, I believe. Back in the day, like the really old stuff.
We were kids. Yeah, I remember when we were young with the Oregon Trail. Yeah.
Oregon Trail. Ugh, I love Oregon Trail. Give me some elk.
Hell yeah, bro.
It's a great game. He said failed projects, and I was like, yeah, actually, I guess you could look at them that way. The floppy disk could be a failed project, and we got into this whole conversation about what other Betamax and like what other failed technology, and then maybe 15 minutes later. I think Corey was like, ignore Serge. He comes into every chat and starts trolling. And I'm like, well, actually, you contributed positively to it. So thank you for, we turned your troll upside down. So that was nice. That's nice. 5.25. Yeah, that's right. I said 5 point. I got one of the numbers halfway correct. Thank you for the decimal as well. Yes, very good. You got me doing it now. Oh, tone base. I'm sure you're good at something, but it's not debating Richard.
Oh, he's so cringe. I had to like skip through when he talks. I fast forward. I can't listen to it. It just hurts my brain too much.
Richard Hart. Why is it so easy for him to win debates?
Well, I mean, part of it is he's just very domineering of the conversation. So it's like just hard to get a word with him because he'll just like talk over you and he won't stop. So most people stop, right? So first off, to even compete, you have to just be able to just talk over people with 0 fucks given and just not stop. So
word per minute must be very high.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you just got to be savage, man, with the facts. Like you got to have a lot of mental ammo, like ready to go. And it's hard, man, because he can rattle it off so quick. He's got a great memory. He's got a great intellect. So and then you got to have, he was trained in logic in like elementary school, and like most people weren't, and just how to frame things correctly when you're speaking. So it's
modus ponens, modus ponens.
Yeah.
Look those up if you like logical operators and logical statements. It's actually some really good stuff, like good for first principles thinking too. So
99% of people don't even know what any of that is that you just said. So That's why they'll always lose to Richard.
Done. You answered that question very, very well. Yeah, I mean, I just had my quick commentary too. Even when you get him in a corner, he knows how to he's so good at just like getting himself out of that corner. Even when they're like, I've listened to every, and maybe you too, but I've listened to every debate I've ever could get my hands on of Richard over the last 5 years. So I could see, even I'll be in the car with my wife and we'll be listening to one, going somewhere, and I'm like, oh, see, I'll pause it. See right there. He knows how to get out of that one. See, he almost got him right there, and then he pivoted. So like I've seen and heard him so much, I know how he gets out of these certain things, even when he doesn't have a strong point to come back with. Sometimes it's kind of fascinating to watch. Is Richard is he not right about everything? No, he's not right about everything. Especially, there's some things I listen to him like, man, I don't want to say never say that again, but like, please say that. I'm sure the context of people you're talking to right now, it makes sense to them. But when you see somebody you see a professional on TV talk, or a news reporter, he said this too. You see them talking about your area of expertise, whether it's engineering or whatever, and they say something, you're like, that's not really how it works. It's sometimes, every once in a while, Richard will say something like, yeah, that's not, but he makes it work. Like he'll fit that in, and even when they, try to push back, he's like, oh, it's not that important anyways. So he's a master at debate, a master at, getting the message he wants to get across. And I don't really have a problem with it because, you don't have to agree with everything, every single word the man says to know that you agree with what's most important. And that's obviously these amazing products and the life he's living. Pretty good life. He's very smart. And if you just nitpick about the things that, he got wrong or didn't say right, or you didn't like, or you don't agree with him on, you're missing out on all the stuff that he can teach you and give you, and you do agree with him on. So it's just not even worth like criticizing in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. You got to disregard all those little things and realize he's invented things and had ideas about the crypto industry that were correct years before anybody else even had a clue, right? If you listened to Richard over these years, you are years ahead of the game. And one of the things I want to shout out that he does really well is he always asks people questions during a debate, and he lures them into traps. And most of the people, even Tone is not that, even he knows it's a trap, and he just won't even answer the question and usually ignores it. But Richard is great at doing that because he'll ask you a question and you'll answer, and you just walk right into whatever it is, but he'll agree with you.
Peter McCormick didn't.
Peter McCormick is the worst of them.
I don't care. Scam. Scam. I don't care.
No. That video made so many new hexagons. It was fantastic, actually. That was some of the best marketing we ever had back in the day.
Peters did some great things for a community.
Yes, whether he likes it or not, he has made hexagons because he was so bad. Richard destroyed him so thoroughly that they had to go to hex.com.
They had to go to hex.com. Yeah. Well, point is, no one can call RHMax a cheerleader because I said it. I don't like everything that Richard says all the time.
Yeah. And even I don't agree with everything either.
Oh my God, you too?
Yeah.
I'm about to get kicked the fuck out of this community.
I know, right? Shit. I never talk about this. And normally people of this type do, but I'm vegan. And Richard's not. Richard eats animals all the time. And for me, I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. He's like, oh, I just eat the tuna right out of the can. I'm like, oh. Like, so yeah, man, we're all different people. You know what I mean? But I'm like the only vegan I do not like to talk about it because, yeah.
Dude, I'm like opposite of vegan, keto.
Yep.
Somehow we still get along and talk to each other.
I know, and we're both alive, right? We're both not malnourished. Like we're both. I'm okay. You're okay.
Seem okay. It's true. I mean, we're not, GRC. We're not Sam. We're not, we don't have muscles. Definitely. Our neck isn't like up here or anything in a good way. But I'm excited to meet these people. I'm excited to meet them in Vegas. Are you going to Vegas, by the way?
Not for the PulseCon. No. I'm probably doing the next year's HEX in March. Yeah. I didn't buy the ticket to the PulseCon because I know it's not going to launch before then at this point. And like, I don't want to be on stage if it ain't launched, man. Like, that's crazy. We're doing a convention for a product that doesn't exist. That's so sad.
It'll look real. Launch is September 1st.
Whoa, okay. Well, then I'll buy the next plane ticket.
FOMO tickets to PulseCon. They'll be going
Vegas,
for like $20,000 each.
I'll just walk right in.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you don't actually have to go to the conference. You can just go to Vegas and then just go to parties and hang out. I mean, you've been to it before. You've been to the HEX conference stuff before. So for me, I didn't go to the last HEX conference, and in HEX and all that stuff. I just didn't go to the last one or so. I mean, I haven't been a public persona for maybe 4 months now or something like that. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's just going there to meet people. I did buy admission to the conference, but I don't even know what talks are going on. Not super interested. Of course, I want to see Richard talk, but I'm sure that'll be a live stream somewhere too anyways. Yeah. But I'm just going to hang out with people. So if anyone's going to PulseCon, by the way, I will be there and I'll be giving out free stuff. So if you like free stuff, and Richard Hart maxi shirts, which I think are pretty cool. Join me there.
Nice.
Juicy steaks. It's like a knock on the door, but I ain't going to answer it because David Feeder's on the line. Peter's the worst debater ever. Let's say PulseChain is a success for Richard. Everything goes well. It launches. What is left for him to do to get the glory? He wants glory. He says it all the time. What's left for him to do at PulseChain success? If it gives 10,000x in 2 years, what's left?
Damn, that's a really good question. I mean, for him, then I think he pivots into Scivive and longevity research. Because really, the glory for Richard is like living to like 100. He wants to live forever. That's what this is really all about. This is about immortality. This is about hexagons becoming the technocracy that lives forever, right? That's what we
Richard will not die fund.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's what this is all about. And the hexagons, like that's our mission, is to just become the technocracy.
Trickle down, not dying. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with trickle down, not dying. That sounds good to me.
Exactly. So that's what we're working on, I guess. That's what the whole, the mission of the whole hex cult is all about.
Imagine how many people who get rich through PulseChain, they're able to buy into the mission of longevity. I've said it before a million times. I think crypto is a means to an end. His Wikipedia article will be about how he saved millions of lives through funding longevity, Heart Foundation, whatever it is. Imagine all those people with all that money who have shared interest. You think they'll help with funding? You think they'll make some good things come to life, longevity and otherwise?
I hope so. Or
they'll all just be like lottery winners and just like gambled all away.
Oh, maybe. I mean, yeah. And I speculate that the longevity field will also be profitable, so it will be popular. It'll have its own ETF. Even Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful's kind of working on this. He's got like a longevity medicine ETF on the stock market, and it's a blend of companies that work on new medical research. I think they're focusing on like psychedelics for therapeutic purposes and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I expect
will they be at Burning Man this year?
Say that again.
I said, will they be at Burning Man this year?
No,
Mr. Wonderful goes and he's like, hey, come to our tent, live forever. That's actually a good pitch line. A lot of people would be like, yes, I will come to your tent if I get to live forever.
Walk right in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. There are some billionaires starting to notice. I mean, even Peter Thiel, one of my favorite people in the world too. Great contrarian, libertarian, and so on. Capitalist, super good investor. I'm pretty sure he's been getting into longevity and some of the funding around that too. Capitalism in it. Hopefully it'll turn out. Hopefully it won't be that situation where only the rich get it. Richard answered this before. It's always prices go down over time and all these things. You can read Scivive to get more information, like why it's not a problem, and why living forever is not a problem, all this stuff too. But I can just see it being funded. So many more organizations doing it right now. Like, it's just a drop in the bucket. We got Sins, we got some other ones out there. Maybe Aubrey goes and does his own thing. Who knows? And then, I hope there's a Heart Foundation one day. I hope is there that becomes his legacy, saving people. He said it a million times, although the context of crypto, but saving real lives. Oh gosh, like what a better story to, be in history books for, like doing such, society rewards you when you give value. What better value, than saving human consciousness, giving people, better lives, longer lives, health span, not just lifespan. You don't want to be like, live to 200 and be in a wheelchair. You want to live to 200 and you're 150 and you're still, taking a morning run. You want that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So, I got a couple questions here, but you're funny. Yes.
I like them in that order too.
In that order. They are ordered. What are your thoughts around tokenomics performance of the loan token? What do you got, David?
Yeah, I mean, I sacrificed for it and I'm bullish on it, because what you can do is you can stake that loan token and then you get a portion of all the fees of the people who take out loans, right? Because they have to pay a fee to take a loan. I forget what the ratios are and how much, but yeah, I mean, it's meant to be staked and it's meant to be like you get dividends basically from all the action that happens and all the loans that come out. So that's great. That's a useful coin, right? That's a coin that hopefully appreciates in value itself and hopefully makes you more money. So I like that.
Yeah, the loan token seems like so long ago when we sacked, and I remember, reading about it and the phase, and you could lock it up at different. When you sacked, you could do different periods of lockup, I think too, for like a year and so on. You get more and all that. So interesting sack phase and the tokenomics. Yeah, I mean, you get, like David said, you get shares appreciation. What's the staking aspect of it? Is there staking on there? I can't remember.
I thought you had to stake it in order to be eligible to get part of the fees for all the loans.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so you can stake the loan token and do that. Yeah.
I think because I think if you just hold the loan token liquid in your wallet, I don't think you get anything additional. Last I recall.
So many different features too of the. Never selling can mean so many things. If you're staking your loan token, if you're taking a loan on PLS, lots of never selling. That's the biggest utility I can see in the whole platform. Is just it clearly, that some of the tokens that come out, some of the projects, they're like, okay, they have this particular type of game theory, or they're targeting this particular list of people. But with liquid loans, I'm like, wow, you are solving a problem, and that's I think it's pretty rare to have products to do that, or will do that in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
What is the use case of wait after PulseChain launches? I'll take a first stab. I'll just say that from what I understood the other day with Stoic from Coast is that. So I think their ideal for wait was to give people liquidity while they're waiting in the bear market. So it's kind of like altruistic type thing is what the ethos they're going for. And then after PulseChain launches, it seems like there's going to be a bigger platform ecosystem that may, wait. I think Coast alluded to, if you have weights, you may be on a list that for the next token, for the next free claim, or whatever's going on, and to that platform that they want to build out with Tide, I believe. So if nothing else, after PulseChain launches, you may be on the nice list and get access either directly or indirectly to other parts of the platform they're building out. So seems to be my interpretation. Yeah. Say no to 3As. Yeah, those are, I mean, addictions. I can make a case that some addictions are more useful than others, but yeah, overall, I'd agree. I agree. Basic security setup. Yeah, you'll take this one, David. What is your basic security setup you discuss with your onboards?
Yeah, for my onboard, that's real simple. They learn that they never give away the 12 or 24 words, and then we put them on the metal plates, so that way they're fireproof. And then that's the first thing I like to do is get them off to paper, and then get those seed words on metal that are like fireproof and destructible, and then you can go do whatever else you want, pretty much, other than screwing around with like bad UIs and scams and stuff. But as long as their seed words are covered and safe and they don't lose them, and then they stick to the right projects, that's it. Keep it simple.
So as far as seed words and stuff go, hardware wallets, you talked about metal, any vendors, any things people can go buy?
Oh yeah. I'm a Ledger guy. Some people are Trezor, some people like Ledger, some people like Coke, some people like Pepsi. I like Ledger. I've had great success with them. They're cheap, they work. Never had one break. They're awesome. But those don't actually solve the problem of long-term seed word storage, right? Those are just so you're not keeping your keys in your MetaMask, so that way there's no .dat file even on your computer, right? So yeah, I'm down with metal plates for the words. I'm down with a Ledger and MetaMask. That's cool. And I also like Staker app. They're fine too, because same thing. You get your seed words, metal, and then it is on your phone. That's not great. But it's in Gnosis safe. That's pretty fine too. It's not that bad. So That's about it. I'm not, nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy. You've heard it.
So yeah. What about you? What you're actually in security. I mean, you're more of an expert in security than I am. So what do you think?
Well, I would preface it with I've been doing computer security, cloud security and stuff as professionally for over a decade. Crypto security, I kind of just came into the last little bit. But there's a lot of parallels and definitely a lot of advantages. I have knowing computer security side pretty well. But yeah, you said it's about reducing your attack surface. It's about, I don't like to put stuff on my phone just because, phones are an easy target, stuff like that. So I prefer not to do that. I would prefer hardware wallets, metal seed word type deals, just making your computer, using it, accessing your stuff on a computer that isn't full of malware. You can verify that in a lot of ways, and you keep it off the internet when you want to touch stuff. But hardware wallet comes in and plays a role there too, where hardware wallet is basically a baby computer that has a very limited attack surface, so you can't get a virus as easy. Now, can you get a virus? It's running operating system, so my computer security brain's like, there could be viruses on hardware wallets. Like, why not? Why couldn't you? I know there's code signing. I know there's a lot of. I mean, we could go in all the technical details, but
yeah,
I think one day I'm going to call. I think one day there will be some malware on a hardware wallet. It'll just be much, much, much harder. So it's not something you need to worry about, but it still is technically possible, because anything that you can do on your computer, someone else can do on your computer or your device or whatever. Like that. This is simple. There is no perfect security. There is no complete security. There is risky and less risky, and all the shades in between. And are you exposing all of your stuff or just some of your stuff? So I look at it at a very fundamental level, and then I just kind of scale up. Oh, okay, hardware wallets. Here's how they work, and then seed words. Here's how that works. So I have this building blocks I use to figure a lot of this stuff out. Let's see, Bitfinex, buy an extra ledger, save on your desk, keep on your keys. Decoys, I like it.
I have decoys too. Yeah, decoys. You leave them around. They're literally hanging on like a lanyard. And then if somebody wants to break in when I'm not here, go ahead, take that stupid thing. It was $60. Like, hell, there's nothing on it. Yeah,
plug it in. It sets the USB port on fire.
Put it in the box, and you put a little sticky note that says the pin code on it. They will gladly run that. They'll pick up that box and they'll just leave. They got what they wanted, and then they get home and there's nothing on it. Genius.
Or label it something like, assassination or something like that. And they're like, whoa, I'm not touching this. I'm not touching this at all. I want nothing to do with this.
I just write on it Hillary Clinton. Yep, there you go. Hillary Clinton docs. It's like, whoa.
Email server password. Hillary. Cryptosphere, be armed. That's a good point. I don't. I'm kind of an abstract guy, anyways. Like you see, I got MetaMask guy right here.
There you go. Nice shirt.
Thank you. You notice there's not any words. I prefer, not a lot of words. So I like symbols, and that's good. That's an advantage for me because I can go out and wear crypto stuff, and most people don't know what it is. They ask me about it, but they're not going to mug me, hopefully. So that's one thing to keep in mind too if you're wearing crypto stuff out. Watch your back in that way. Yeah. Hopefully there's no one out there that's trying to get that though.
Yeah, and for me, I'm always armed. I got my keychains and. Which may or may not double as a weapon, and it's always in my pocket. I'm good.
Brass knuckles there.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say I have a concealed carry license and go into that, but different avenue.
That's in the works. Yeah, that's still the paperwork's processing.
Okay. There's a lot of pros and cons, or a lot of. I meant to support that. There's a lot of pros to that too. Thoughts on Engrave.io is the juice worth the screws that we found in hardware wallet. I've never heard of Engrave, so I won't comment. But
I also never heard of that before. Not sure what that is.
Check it out. I will check that out and see. Yeah, Bobby, hit me up on Twitter if you want to discuss it after I check it out. Hardware dummy MetaMask account. Yeah, there's some cool security stuff too, where you can have a computer that has an operating system and have a hidden operating system where, there's kind of this, I forget what the project, there's a bunch of different projects that do this, but essentially I think it was in the cases where if you cross the border or whatever and they ask you to type in your password, it doesn't go to the real operating system, it goes to the other one. So there's kind of like inception type stuff you can do. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some crypto hardware wallets that do similar things. So it's another like very, 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 I don't know how to say it, very complex, but like even brainy way of doing it. So there's stuff like that.
You're a legend, Valiant Brand. My man. I met him in Vegas in March. Freaking awesome guy. There's a hardworking Hexagon too. It's been streaming it's been years now, man. So love you, Brand. You're the man.
We do meetups. I get to see Brand every once in a while. It's always good to see him. And we may be doing like a volleyball thing.
Nice.
Sometime too. I'm working on the banner, trying to get the HEX banner going so we can get a good picture for it too. So I'll hopefully see Brand in a couple weeks or so.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's always fun to have local HEX kids. Like again, everybody out there, try to find people near you and join a local group or something, because it's really fun to talk about this stuff in real life, not just on the internet all the time.
I'm going out to lunch with the Hexagon tomorrow in real life. Yeah, from Twitter. Nice. He's in my state, and we're gonna do some lunch. Yeah, totally. Yep. And I hang out with Hex Live, and that is some of the best fun is actually seeing people in real life. It's great.
Refreshing.
Yes.
That's the way it used to be. Yeah.
Yes. A long time ago, right?
Unfortunately, we need to trend back towards that. Yeah. Most important is buying your hardware wallet as advanced as possible. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Keep a stack.
Yep.
Sorry, Brand. We're about to wrap up though. Watch the replay if you like. Mr. Federer. I always think of what's the tennis guy?
Roger
Federer.
Legend, right? Dude. He's even more Federer than me.
Just a name. We know who's got the track record. It's you.
He may be number one in tennis, but I'm number one in validating.
There you go. You should get on some tennis things and be like, you know what? Did you know that I'm the better Federer and stuff like that? Do some cross collab.
Oh, like a commercial? Oh yeah, dude. I love tennis too,
cool.
so that would be
Dude, you in a State Farm commercial with Roger Federer, that would be gold. I want to see that. I want to see it. All right, everyone. It's been a fun one. It's been a good. I think we covered some good topics. I don't get a lot of chance to cover only like we really, I feel like we got in some good verticals here with PulseX and HEX.
Yes.
And loans and liquid loans too. Had some good discussion around that. Was not nightmarish. Was good. No, this is good, man. I appreciate you coming on. It's been a while. It's been too long. I feel like you should come on. We should be on a stream together in some form or fashion more often. Yeah,
totally. Fun. Yeah, I like monthly with a lot of the guest shows that I'm on. Every once a month, I think is good because then you kind of. It's been 4 weeks. We got some updates, maybe some news. Yeah, totally. No, it's wonderful streaming with you. It's refreshing for me to be with somebody who's technical. Because then you're into computers and I'm into computers, and then we can get nerdy if we really want to, and I really like that. So yeah, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yes, I do like my nerdy guests, of course, as well. It's when do we get invited to the data center? When do we get the data center tour? I always wanted one of those.
Sadly, I cannot invite anybody to the PulseChain data center. It has to remain secure, so that way, even if the alphabet boys kick in my door, they're never going to find it. So yeah, I'm not worried. It's hidden though.
Oh God. Well, if you're not first, you're last. And Mr. Federer is number one testnet validator. Very symbiotic stream. Thank you. That's a very good compliment. Very, very good compliment.
We make a good team,
Bobby.
Yeah, I feel that.
Symbiotic. I like it. I like it. I wish you were coming to Vegas though. I wish I could see you there, but we'll see each other in real life somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Maybe I'll come to Vegas. It's in the air. We'll see. If PulseChain launches, then I have no excuse, right?
Okay. Let's make it here. Let's make the promise here. If PulseChain launches before the PulseCon, you're coming to Vegas, right?
Deal.
You
got it. Deal.
Okay. Good. And if it doesn't, I promise to do it. Still go. I plan on doing a stream there, actually with Brand and maybe Fashion Coder. I think I've talked to those two. Plan on streaming from the conference, and nice. we'll give a huge shout out to you, sir, if we're there without you for obvious reasons.
Much appreciated. But that's cool. You guys are going to stream from there, though. That's awesome. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think so. Nice. Live on site. Again, if you're there, hit me up. If you're not, there'll be a stream. Hopefully everyone can see, and we'll be sharing some goodness that's going on, and all the jokes that will be getting dunked on for, we're vaporware. Where's your vaporware product? There'll be some funny stuff. I look forward to it. I like it. So cool, man. Well, follow David. He got his Twitter right there. Sub on YouTube as well. David Feeder on YouTube, and call him at his home if you know his number.
Oh no, Hex Live, stop! No, don't call me.
Hex Live, we need the number. We need it.
No. We need it. Yeah, I don't do tech support or validator support, man. Yeah,
no more. Only on Thanksgiving. Mom, the meatloaf. Mom, no more. I can't work on any more computers this time. And then, of course, follow me at RHMaximalist on Twitter, just the way it sounds. It's not spelled at all differently than the way it sounds. RHMaximalist. And sub if you're not. I heard a lot of people who watch these streams aren't subbed. So don't be a statistic. Subscribe. Por favor.
Yes.
Until next time, man. Been a beautiful, beautiful stream. Love your beard. Everyone loves your beard. Nobody hates your beard. I'm pretty sure no one hates your beard.
I think you're right. Yeah, I agree.
Good. No beard hating, everyone. Thanks, chat. Y'all amazing again. It's been a great stream. All right, man. Until next time, we're out.
Yes. Bye-bye.